claims these events happened in November 2022, 1 week after the death of his closest friend, whose case was officially recorded as a mysterious accident. A week after the funeral, he returned to his friend's apartment to collect some personal belongings. The apartment had been sealed and untouched since the night of the incident. While cleaning the bedroom, he found a small wooden box hidden under the bed. Inside the box was an old mobile phone, a keypad phone. The screen was cracked as if it had been pressed from the inside. There was no SIM card inside, no visible battery. He placed the phone on the desk and continued cleaning. About 10 minutes later, the phone rang, not a random ringtone. It was the exact tone his friend used for years. The screen lit up. The caller ID showed his friend's name. At first, he thought someone was playing a cruel joke, but the phone didn't stop ringing. So, he answered. At first, all he heard was slow breathing. Then a voice, his friend's voice, but distant, as if coming from far away. The voice said, "Why did you come back here?" The call ended. Immediately after, the phone opened by itself to the voice recordings app. The first recording was normal, laughter, old conversations. But at the end of the recording, there was a faint scratching sound, something he had never noticed before. The next recording played automatically. This time, the voice was clearer. It said, "If you're listening to this, then I never got out of the car." He felt the temperature in the room drop suddenly, even though it was a warm night. Another recording started. "No one heard me when I was calling your name." He tried to turn the phone off. It wouldn't respond. The final recording was dated 1 day after the official time of death. The voice was calm. Too calm. It said, "Some things stay attached to places, especially when someone leaves and someone else is left behind." Then the phone rang again. This time, the caller ID was his own name. He didn't answer. He left the apartment immediately and never went back. He says the phone disappeared shortly after that night, but months later on his current smartphone, he found a new audio file saved automatically. The file was titled, "New Recording." To this day, he says he has never been able to listen to it all the way through. Some recordings aren't made to be heard, they're made to remain. Months passed after the discovery of the new recording. He tried to forget it, told himself it was just a glitch, a trick of his mind. But one night, at exactly 3:17 a.m., his phone rang. No caller ID, no vibration, just the ringtone, normal, yet wrong. He hesitated. Every instinct screamed at him not to answer, but curiosity won. At first, silence, then a faint whisper. It was his friend's voice, closer this time, urgent. "I told you to leave it alone," the voice said, "but you didn't listen." The call ended abruptly. Then a notification appeared, another voice memo, saved automatically. He opened it, static first, then a soft, rhythmic tapping, like fingernails scratching against the walls. A voice followed, not exactly his friend's, lower, harsher, distorted. "Do you remember the box?" The whisper hissed. "Do you remember the phone?" He dropped the phone. It hit the floor face down, but the screen continued glowing. The audio kept playing. Shadows shifted across the room, but there was nothing there, only darkness, moving. The tapping grew faster. The distorted voice whispered, "Now, it's your turn." He tried to run. The front door wouldn't open. The room felt smaller, the air heavier, almost solid. Every breath burned his lungs. He backed toward the window. The rain outside was pounding harder, but the sound of footsteps inside, heavier than rain, closer than he should have felt. The phone rang again. caller ID, inside. He didn't answer. Then he heard it, from behind the door. Soft breathing, steps, slow, deliberate, approaching. The shadows stretched unnaturally, as if the walls themselves were bending toward him. He picked up the phone to record, but the screen cracked further. The audio shifted, voices overlapping, whispers he didn't recognize. A laugh, low, wet, almost alive. He backed into the corner, and the last thing he saw before the lights went out, a reflection in the cracked screen. Himself, but not quite him. Eyes black, smile twisted. A whisper came, cold and clear. Some recordings never end, and now you belong to them. The room went completely silent. No rain, no wind, no sound. And yet, the phone started playing again. A single word repeated, faint, echoing. Remember. He swore he could feel someone breathing right next to his ear.